Today, scholars, we're going to be looking at Unit 11, Lesson 8, Measure and Estimate Volume. Our objective: today I will measure and estimate liquid volume using standard units of milliliters and liters. So to begin our lesson, we're going to take a look at a brief video that is an introduction to volume and capacity.
In ancient times, different communities used different tools for measuring capacities and volumes. So, there was no common tool to be used by everyone. They used common objects such as jars and pots to measure volumes and capacity. Gradually, mankind noticed that there must be a unique system for measurements to be used worldwide. What are volume and capacity? Look at the following bottles. They all look different. They have different shapes, different heights, different colors, and different liquids inside. But they have one common property. The amounts of liquids inside the bottles are the same. Each bottle holds 2 liters of a liquid. So we see that all the bottles have a common property. This property is the amount of space they have for holding a liquid. This space is called capacity. So we can say that all these bottles have the same capacity. Sometimes the amounts of liquids inside different bottles or jars are the same, but the capacities of the containers are not the same. The following cylinders, which all have different capacities, but the amounts of liquids inside all the cylinders are the same. This amount is called volume. Volume represents the amount of a liquid, or how much space the liquid takes up in a container. Let's see what you have learned in this lesson.
Okay, boys and girls, so let's move on. So that was just a brief introduction to volume. And here we have the definition again. It's the space within a three-dimensional object. So when we're talking about 3D objects, think about things like bottles, glasses, a picture like we see in the on screen here, which holds the fruit punch. Think of a bowl. Those are the things that are three-dimensional objects, and the volume is the space in them. So a liter is a unit of measurement for liquid volume. So for example, we see a liter of water there. We see a liter carafe, and we see a liter bottle at the bottom. So even though they all have different shapes, we know that they all measure 1 liter. Here is a milliliter. And the abbreviation for milliliter is lowercase m, capital L. And a milliliter is about the size of the liquid inside of a eyedropper. So the blue represents 1 milliliter. So 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. The prefix milli, boys and girls, means 1,000. So 1,000 little eyedropper drops will fill up a liter bottle. And that is another way that we could measure liters and milliliters. Many of your moms have measuring cups that they use for cooking. So the measuring cups will have these increments there. Different cups will have different increments. This one is measured by 50s milliliters. So we have 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, so on and so forth until we get to 1,000 milliliters and 1 liter over there. So it's saying basically the same thing. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. And we will end the show. And now let's take a look at your lesson for today. Okay. So the direction says, measure the liquid volume in the beaker. So looking at this beaker, we see that everything is being counted in with 5s, okay? So let's go ahead and count the increments to find out the exact measurement of the liquid here. So we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So here we'll put 35 milliliter. And remember, it's going to be a lowercase m and a capital L for milliliters. Let's look at the second one. Okay, and remember the first 2 that I go over, boys and girls, are not in your book. I'm just giving you a demonstration. Okay, so here it says to estimate the liquid volume in the beaker. So this time, boys and girls, they did not tell us the increments. So we kind of have to look and see where numbers fall. Think about a number line, and we're going to use that strategy. So I've gone ahead and I've drawn a little line here. And this is going to tell me that that's about 30, because it's by looking at this, I see that we're counting it by 10s. So I'll go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and this will be about 60. So my answer is going to be estimated. And when you're estimating, boys and girls, you use this little squiggly line like that. So I'm estimating that it's about 60 milliliters, okay? So again, the little squiggly line, you're saying about or roughly 60 milliliters. Let's go on now to the student work. And these are the problems that you have in your book. So it says here, measure the liquid volume in the beaker. Same thing. When we're looking at how they've segregated this number line or the gradients, we can count by 5s here. So we have 5, 10, 15. So for sure, this is 15 milliliters. Okay. When we go to the second one, they're telling us to estimate. So boys and girls, I'm looking at how this is separated. So we have 50 at the bottom, and then we have 500 at the top. And the line appears to be right in the middle. So I know that if this entire beaker is 500, half of 500 or the middle of 500 would be about 250 milliliters. Okay, and that is it for this lesson. So boys and girls, it is your turn to take a look at final check for understanding. You have two problems there where you will measure the liquid volume in the beaker. Here we're counting by fives. And then you're going to estimate, okay? And you're counting by 100s there. Okay, and that is it for today, boys and girls. I look forward to seeing you all on our Zoom call tomorrow. And the pages for this lesson in your student journal are 159 to 162. Take care. I look forward to seeing you all soon.